Gets to Elijah instead. Elijah going to drive. Good jab step there. And step back three. Elijah starts off hot here early. Great to see him back. He was
Hey
sick.
y'all, this is the Christian Athlete Podcast. I'm your host, Julian Egbo. I'm here with Elijah Johnson. We're all the way in Armenia playing professional basketball. Great teammate, a friend of mine right here, brother in Christ. We'll talk about everything right now. First of all, Eli, how you doing today, man?
Today's been good. We had a little 3-on-3 tournament today. Had a couple of dunks, hit a couple of threes. Still undefeated. So, we 5-0 right now.
Good go right here, man. Freak athlete. Do it all for you. First question I like to ask is, what was your welcome to pro basketball moment?
Man, it was a tough journey. So honestly, I could say like my welcome was really staying motivated, staying in the gym. Talking to a couple of my coaches, that coached overseas or that kind of coach professional in their career, and having conversations with our agent Dustin. Just getting out there and asking them, like, man, how do I do this? How do I become a pro? Like, how does this work? And, attended his camp. Ended up getting ranked in his camp, and, ended up picking me up on the tour.
Big time. When did you give your life to Christ?
And I've always been a son of God. I'd say I really started, understanding the Bible and understanding Jesus when I got a little bit older, probably like, I want to say when I was 16, but, I've always been in church since I was like legit, since a kid, like 2 years old. I got baptized, like I told y'all a couple days ago, when I was 4 years old. And then I got re-baptized because, I didn't really remember it, When you get baptized as a child, you don't really remember
that,
or, you're going to get your sins washed away again, So, yeah, I'd say I got baptized again when I was like 11. And I plan on getting baptized again, too, just to re-wash away my sins,
No, that's big time. I think that's something that we should all do for real.
Facts.
That, re-cleanse yourself, cleanse your mind and spirit. Always helps you out, I think, in the long run.
Yeah.
Going forward. Can you talk a little bit about your upbringing in California and who got you into playing basketball?
Man, California is everything you hear about it,
man. It really is.
Good living, man. I'm gonna be honest, I gotta be honest, everything's expensive, high cost, but everybody plays basketball in California. You're either a football player or a basketball player. Of course, there's other sports, but everyone plays basketball. We play outdoor, we play indoor. When I was a kid, I honestly played football, and I don't know what it was. I just fell in love with basketball. I just like hearing the sound of the ball go through the net. Yeah, man. I just like dribbling, and my dad, he wasn't really around a lot in my life, but I just remembered a lot when I was a kid, him watching Allen Iverson. I grew up, loving Allen Iverson. I really started paying attention to basketball when Kevin Durant came in the league, and like that's just kind of when I fell in love with it. I'm like, man, he's dope. I'm like, man, no one could stop him, no one could guard him, because my whole life, I was born in '99. LeBron came in the league at '03. I've always heard about LeBron. Always,
since you were a kid, since you grew up. Yeah.
He's really the Michael Jordan of my era. So like growing up, I'm seeing Michael Jordan. I thought it was acted. I thought it was all fake. Seeing LeBron, I'm like, okay, it's the same thing. Watching Kevin Durant, I'm like, okay, maybe this is real.
Yeah. Those are some top guys to look up to too. Allen Iverson, LeBron, just freaking natures. Yeah, freak athletes and just great at basketball more than anything.
Nah, facts.
Good people to look up to.
They're different.
For real.
They're different.
So when did you know you wanted to take basketball seriously?
Honestly, I mean, my freshman year when that was the first organized team I ever played on. My freshman year of high school, I never played on like kid teams or like AAU and stuff.
Wow.
So when I first got into high school, I was a freshman, and everyone was telling me, "Hey, man, try out. You're a real athlete. You can be dope at basketball." So I stopped playing football, started training for basketball, and then I got out there and tried out. And luckily, I was very nervous my first tryout because, I'm a freshman. I'm going in like, man, it's a lot of guys out here. I think we had 40 people come and try out.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, my school was a big school.
Yeah.
So we had 40 people try out, and I was very nervous because the varsity coach was the one that did our first tryout. We do 3 days of tryouts.
Yeah.
So our first day, it was the varsity coach, and the next day that we came back, a childhood, friend of my family's
Yeah.
was the basketball coach. Like he's like an uncle to me. Like when I
yeah.
tell you like an uncle, he's been around my whole life.
Yeah.
So and I didn't know that he was our coach.
Oh.
I didn't know he was a basketball coach at all.
Yeah.
So like the next day I seen him, he was just like, "Oh yeah, I'm putting you on the team." He was like, "I'm gonna make you a workhorse."
Yeah.
It was kind of bittersweet because I'm like, man, yes, like I'll get to make the team. But then again, I'm like,
That's like family now. He's gonna hold you
yeah, I'm
accountable
like,
for real.
for everything,
Yeah.
bro, for everything.
Yeah, he's looking at you at a different light than everybody else.
Honestly, one of memory that I could vaguely remember is it was a game we were losing at halftime. It was a crazy score. It was like 25-6,
Oh,
and
man.
I was the second point scoring leader in the league. It was it was my freshman year. It was my freshman year. We were playing Fairfield High, and we got in the locker room at halftime, and he got in my face, and he was just like, "Man, you think you're all this? You think you're all that? You're supposed to be the leading scorer." And me and my boy were like just like a dominant duo. And he was just like, man, he was like, y'all got 6 points combined. They got 25 as a team. And then he like got in my face, and I was just like, all right. He was like, I'm gonna start playing now. He was like, nah, don't start playing now. It's too late. And he grabbed his clipboard and he broke it off the top of my head.
No way, bro.
Plastic clipboard, bro. I promise you. Plastic
That's
clipboard.
crazy.
Broke it on top of my head, and then he just
What?
looked around and he looked at my other friend. He was just like, y'all better turn this game around or I'll quit. I'll forfeit our next 4 games.
Oh,
And
yeah,
we were
he's
just
a
like,
crazy coach.
wow.
That's like you don't even know how to respond to that. You just go out there and just play hard.
Man, yeah, like I told you, he was always an uncle, so like,
yeah,
he could do stuff
he
like
could
that.
do stuff
It's
like
like
that too. Yeah.
Everyone's looking at
It's
me like,
family.
man, you're not gonna tell your mom? I'm like, he's probably gonna tell
To
my
my
mom. I'm like,
yeah. Nah, that's wild, bro. That's wild. The other question I like to ask is, how has your relationship with God grown through your basketball career?
Whew, especially being out here, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
college was a different breed. Going JUCO, trying to walk on at a D1 and stuff like it's a different breed. So you got to turn to God and hard work for everything you do.
Exactly.
But honestly, being out here, it's a different breed. Like God has really helped me go through a lot of my struggles. Just talking to Him, reading scriptures, searching up YouTube videos. Like since I've been out here, Michael Todd has been a very
Michael Todd's the pastor.
very inspirational person for me. Like he's helped me push, he's helped me grind. There was a couple of times where I had to knock on one of our teammates' door and ask him, "Can I use his Bible?" Just to help me get through the day. Like I'm not watching no TV. I kind of just was going to sleep, being a little depressed. But then you got to get out of your own head.
Yeah,
you got to get out of your own head because
big thing.
the main thing to hold yourself back.
Exactly, and I think the best way to get out of your own head in a lot of things is going to God.
Yeah.
I think you go to Him, He gives you that peace of mind and that wisdom to get you through your day.
Yeah.
And especially when you go read that verse that just like relates to everything you're going through at that stage of your life, and it's like, dang, this is really God speaking to me. Get me through this. And now your mood, you get that joy and get through your day.
Yes.
Oh, that's what's up, man.
I think it was like possibly like my junior year. I told myself that I'm gonna start praying before every basketball game.
Yeah.
To just keep all my teammates safe, make sure no one gets no injuries, and just give us the strength to go out here and get a win. Always keeping God in my eye. Like even sometimes when I'm struggling and I'm at the free throw line, or like I'm struggling and someone else is shooting free throws, I put my head down real quick, say a quick prayer, and try to snap myself back into it. But
actually really helps. People that like need help with that or struggle with that. Definitely try doing that. I know for me when I was in college, there was sometimes I'll get in my own head with certain things. Like if it's like having to do a tough finish or something like that, and I'd be having thoughts telling myself like, oh, you can't do it, you can't do it. And I'd start telling myself, Philippians 4:13, it says, I can do all things through Christ. I just telling myself that every second, and then
Yeah.
I was able to start doing it. I'm like, oh, I can do this. I can do all things. I can finish this. I can dunk this. I can make this shot, and it helped improve that for me too. So that's good that you said that. And I know you do. You do pray. I hear you pray before our games and stuff too when we play together.
Yeah.
That's big time, man. Can you talk a little bit about your college basketball path and the perseverance to get through it? Because I know your college story is different.
And I'd say really the biggest thing that during my college path was really junior college. I'm gonna be honest, junior college will really humble you.
Yeah.
JUCO will really humble you because it's a whole bunch of guys out there playing for a spot. Everyone's trying to go D1. Everyone's trying to get recruited. It's a wide range of ages. Like, you got people that, like, we had a guy on our team that was, I believe he was 28, almost going on 30.
Yeah.
And he was a killer.
Mm-hmm.
He was a killer. And then we had some other young guys. It was like 24, 22. I was the youngest on our team. I just turned 18, so I'm like fresh 18, just out of high school.
Yeah.
It was tough. It was tough because I went to a national JUCO out in California, and it was rough. Like you got a lot of guys that's in the league that's very highly talked about. That's already recruited. You got some D1 bounce backs. We had a couple of guys, not on our team, but the teams we played against. We had one guy that went to Oregon. We had one guy that he went to Weaver. We had another dude that went to Cal Berkeley.
Top schools.
Yeah, big schools. So it's like when we're going into games, we're like, all right, that's the guy we got to guard. That's the guy we got to stop. And then, just playing on the court with them and seeing the moves that they're doing, or like even just keeping up and hanging with them. It's like, man, that D1 goal is really obtainable.
Yeah.
So like, just staying motivated and staying in it. Then I'd say, after I did my time in junior college, I tried to walk on at a D1. Was playing there. Coach told me straight up, like, hey, we don't got no scholarships, but, stick around, stay around. Because, like I told you, my junior college and D1 were literally across the street from each other.
Oh,
so
yeah, you did say that, yeah.
It wasn't a very hard transition. So he started hitting up my coach, asking what type of player I am. As you can see here, I'm a team guy. I'm all about the team. I'm all about uplifting each other, keeping a positive end. And, the coach kept me around. And that was during the COVID year.
Yep.
So I kind of felt, getting in my own head a little bit, I kind of felt like the situation was a little, manipulated, because I'm like, maybe he knew that we weren't going to have any games because, COVID and stuff. But, it's early in the season. It's early 2019. No one really predicted that to happen. So, we played a little bit of preseason. I played against Stanford. We played against, who else did we play against? We played against some pretty good schools. UC Irvine.
Yep.
Other than that, a lot of them was just local schools around. Mm-hmm. We were supposed to play St. Mary's, and that's when we got hit with the COVID regulations. They're like, all right, you guys might. This is the first thing that they told us. They said we might have to play in mask. They said we might have to wear a mask to play. And
we had were like, that at college. We did that.
Yeah, nah, I'm not doing that.
No, that's crazy. I just kept pulling mine down. I'm like, I can't breathe this on.
Yeah, that's a struggle. That's a struggle, bro.
Like, it's two different things at that point.
Yeah. But I ended up getting that year back, actually, because like I said, it was the COVID year.
Yeah.
Everyone kind of got their year back. And after that, I was just like, man, if I could walk on at a D1, I could try to go pro.
Yeah.
So after that, I started taking my overseas journey very serious. I started training. I never really had a trainer. I always just worked with my coaches and hit them up, asked them like when can we get extra gym time, give me some pointers and stuff.
Yep.
Did a whole bunch of YouTube videos, like searched up YouTube drills and stuff. Then I took it serious and was like, man, maybe I need a trainer because having someone else's perspective on the game
Oh, for sure.
and telling you like different stuff to do
Yeah,
will really help you.
exactly.
Because you can train yourself, you can work out yourself, but you'll forever do the things that you know you're capable of.
Exactly.
But having someone else around, they'll push you to do things that you never thought of.
Exactly. And they see it on a different lens.
Yes.
You're the one.
Yes.
You're just you in the hoop when you're training by
Yes.
yourself. Whereas they're seeing you, so now they know. Oh, you can get a little bit lower on that dribble. Or
Bro,
you know
yes.
what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
you can put a little more base on that shot. When you're in your mind, you're thinking you're doing that.
Yeah.
But in reality, you're really not. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So it's always good to have a different lens on you.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to that. Another question I'll say is, do you have some advice you can give a young person who's struggling to get to where they want to be at this moment in their life?
I mean, it's very cliche just to say, you work hard, you're gonna get what you want out of it, et cetera,
Yeah.
et cetera. I'm gonna be honest. There's a lot of people that I know that work hard, and sometimes they don't get much in return.
Yeah.
But what I'm gonna say is they worked hard and didn't get what they wanted in return. When you work hard, you'll always be gifted. You'll always get something in return. But God might have another plan for you. He might
Sure.
put you down. He'll might tell you this is your path, but he might give you another road to go down. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You're still gonna get to where you want to go, but you have to take a long journey, a different route, a different road. So I say the number one thing that I can give as advice is just don't give up. Like if this is really what you want to do, if you're really focused, you got to change everything around you. Like you can be working hard, but it could be like even the company you keep, some bad habits that you're doing,
Yeah.
not getting enough sleep, diet,
Yeah.
man,
All the
like
little things.
all the little things, bro.
Yeah.
Like it even came to a point for me. My coach was telling me, he was just like, your fingers aren't strong enough. And like he's
Yeah.
that deep, bro. He's that deep.
Yeah.
He's like, you need to work out with no shoes on, when you're lifting weights, no
Yeah.
shoes, because your feet get very comfortable to
In the
shoes.
shoes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And he started just, open up a different perspective for me. So like
Yeah.
if you're really gonna work hard, change your routine.
Yeah.
I'd say change your routine.
Yeah. For
Don't stick to the
sure.
same plan.
Exactly. That's a good one. I also say something like maybe like what you piggyback on what you said, like digging deeper into like like for example, like when a bodybuilder, for example, who wants to get strong, sometimes you only see the muscles that everybody sees, like the biceps or the calves. They don't see the little muscles
Yeah.
in the hips or
Yeah.
your ankles and those things that need to be strong for your whole body to be as strong as it could be. You know what I'm saying? So dig deep and find those little things that you might be doing wrong or could do a little bit better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That can help you too.
Even like you just said, a bodybuilder, he has a workout plan,
Yeah.
but I guarantee you he changes up that workout plan and does workouts that he doesn't know how to do. He'll search up how to do them.
Yeah.
He'll watch probably some YouTube videos, get some advice, like, and that's another thing too. Don't be ashamed to take advice and don't be ashamed to ask questions. I asked as many questions that need to be asked. And I don't care about it because you don't know everything.
Yep.
You don't know everything. Like just what you see from the regular eye doesn't mean that's what the story is or that's just how it goes. Like a lot of people will watch somebody squat and they'll go into the bar. Whole time they don't know how to squat. It has a lot to do with your feet position, how your form, everything.
Yeah.
Like you can really hurt yourself if you don't know what you're doing.
Exactly.
So ask questions.
Yep.
Ask questions.
Sometimes things look easy, but until you actually try, you're like, oh, that's not really that easy.
Man,
you gotta learn all the different techniques and fundamentals to get to that point.
Man. You know how many times I watch videos and I see people going between the legs, dunking. I'm like, man, I could do that tomorrow. I'll get in the gym like, oh man, hold on. Like
it's a little harder than it looks.
Like, man, I could do it, but if my adrenaline's pumping, like, I don't know.
Nah, facts. How has pro basketball treated you? Can you talk about some highs and lows overseas basketball has taught you?
Honestly, pro basketball has been, a real journey. It's nothing that I can say I imagine because honestly, I'm not gonna sit here and act like it's all, sunshine and lollipops. It's ups and downs. There'd be one week, we didn't get paid on time, or like there'd be, another week where we didn't get as much gym time as we thought we were gonna get, and you got to really prepare yourself. Like I'd say, like all those in-home workouts you see on Instagram, YouTube, and stuff. Those are stuff that you're supposed to be doing like here. Like in the
Exactly.
room, we're sitting around. Make sure you stretch. Make sure you're doing your calf raises, push-ups,
Yep.
sit-ups. All this stuff comes in play, especially while you're over here. Because as you can see, we haven't been in the weight room as much as we want to,
Want
or
to
as
be,
much as we are in America.
absolutely.
We go from being on a college workout schedule to coming pro, and they're like, hey, you get in when you get in. You get your own gym time, you get your own weight room time whenever you want to. And it's like, it's very dependent on yourself. So you got to have support from the group around you, the friends that you build
Yeah.
here,
Yep.
and your family.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes you'll get in a dark hole behind it. So
Yeah.
um,
I
I'd say
agree.
like the ups about it though, like yesterday when we were at our 3-on-3, the people really make it a
people.
lot better for us
So much
because
better.
you'll see kids and they're looking at you like you're a celebrity. We're
Yeah.
just regular people, but at the same time, to them we are their celebrities.
Celebrities, yeah.
So, but we can't let that get to our heads. So, we're
Absolutely.
like I said, we're regular people because once we go back home, what is it?
Exactly.
Everyone's just like, hey, but here they're
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, picture, picture, picture.
Picture,
Can I
picture.
get your autograph? This and that.
Yeah.
So like, I'd say the
Yeah.
people made it better, and just the scenery. It's a real culture shock. Seeing everything around, like the Cascade Steps, Republic
Yeah.
Square.
Yeah.
When we went out with our church group, like
Yep.
just
All those
just
different
seeing
monuments.
everything, man. And
Yeah.
it kind of reminds me of California because that's really how it is. Like in California, like you can just go around and see a lot of scenery and not spend so much money. But at the end of the day, that's what everyone's trying not to do is spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, the scenery and the people is just it's crazy. It's crazy. They really kind of made it good.
Yeah, people definitely. People here they've been great to us
Yeah,
for sure, to say the least. Yeah, shout out to all the Armenians out there.
man.
On
Shout out
says,
to
on
the
says,
Snarkaloopso.
circle somebody get shit.
Man,
So what do you do to build your relationship with God?
and honestly, I can say that my relationship with God has gotten stronger since I've been out here. But there's still things that I'm learning about the Bible, or that
Yeah,
I'm learning about God and Jesus Himself. Like when we were out with our church group,
yeah,
all the stuff Jacob's telling us. It's little things that that I didn't know, or even stuff that you told me, like
yeah,
stuff that I didn't know. And
yeah.
that's one thing that keeps me motivated. To learn
Hmm.
about the Bible and the story of God and Jesus, and just
Yeah,
just not knowing everything.
yeah,
Learning something new all the time.
yeah.
That's okay because that's what's bringing me closer to God. Because it's the same thing just with people. You don't know
Hmm.
everything about me. I don't know everything about you. But
Exactly.
once I start to learn more about you, it's just like it either pulls you in or it pushes you away. And
Yeah,
just being curious and hearing stories, and this is the motherland where it all started. And I didn't know that
yeah.
when
I
I
didn't
first
know
got
that
here. So
either.
that
Yeah,
made me like want to
like
see,
wow.
want to hear and see what they see. So I'm like, man, that
Yeah,
that even brought me closer to God. So I'm like, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I just like to hear just new stuff, and just stay very, very open minded. You
yeah,
believe what you want, like, but I choose to believe in
yeah.
Christ.
Facts. Same. um. Can you give some advice to someone who wants to pursue a professional basketball career?
I'd say one, do your research.
For sure.
Do your
Definitely research.
research. Um, make a Euro Pro Basket account and talk to agents and go to a camp. Go to a camp. Make sure you have some basketball film. Make sure you have some type of exposure, just something so they can see you. Because
Yeah,
I know some guys that's made overseas basketball and they had no film. Like they didn't have high school film, college film. It's just they played high school and college, so it's like you can call my coaches if you want, but since they went to the camp, it kind of made them more exposure for them.
yeah.
So I'd say get to a camp, uh,
Good camp.
yeah, talk to some agents, and just make yourself marketable. Instagram, Twitter, everything. Make sure that your page looks as a basketball player should. You know, don't post nothing crazy. Like, I'm not saying you can't, be dressed up or do this and that, but whatever demons you have or whatever you do in the dark, keep it in the dark. Don't let the world know everything. You can't do that. That will mess up your pro career. That will mess up you being able to do anything. Even like sometimes jobs that you apply for, they'll search up your Instagram or they'll try to find out what type of person you are, and maybe you won't get the job. I had a friend that was working at Sears, and he's a rapper and stuff or whatever, and he was working there for like 3 months, and I don't know who it was, how they found out, but he went to work one day, and when they were just like, "Oh, I didn't know you were a rapper," this is manager saying it. And he was just like, "Oh yeah, I make music," and she was just like, "Oh, are you a gangster?" And he was just like, "I don't have to be a gangster because I make rap music." So, but that's kind of how some people, that's what it's portrayed as. But like I said, his page is clean though, so she had to ask the question, I guess. But as long as you're clean, you'll get what you want.
That's good advice for sure. And like piggyback on what he said, I think I always heard people tell me, like, the people that do want to go pursue basketball career, like what he said, sometimes you just have to make your profiles, like your social media things, more basketball. Like, they want to see you playing recently. I know a lot of times they hate when you have gap years of not playing basketball. So even if you do go to rec leagues and things like that, record it, make highlights of it, post it, continue to post it, and so they know that you're actually playing basketball consistently. They're not just sitting at home not doing anything. So I'll say that's my advice I can give you. A couple more questions before we do the quick hitters. Biggest lesson you've learned since starting your professional basketball career?
Sheesh. Biggest lesson, man. It's been a long journey. It's a couple of them. My biggest lesson I can say is, they've been saying this a lot since we've been out here. Be a professional. Keep yourself professional. And that's a tough one. The biggest lesson I have. You know what? Honestly, the biggest lesson I could say is just be able to make yourself marketable. There'd be a lot of times where I'm playing a game, and something you guys always tell me all the time, like, "Hey man, even if you did miss your last 4 shots, keep shooting." So I'd say, like, just getting out of your head, bro, like, for real, like, because you're the number one thing holding yourself back. And there'd be times, like, especially with our team, we got one guy that's calling for the ball, then we got a guy that's like, "No, shoot that." So it's very hard to decide, like, "Oh, what do I do?" You got to get out of your own head, and you got to finish. You got to be able to shoot. You got to be able to score, make the right passes, play the game the right way. So don't overthink. Get out of your head. That's the biggest lesson I can say I've learned since I've been out here, because I've never even really been that type of player, to kind of get in my head. But like I said, it's been a long journey out here.
Yeah, it's all part of it. You learn, you live, you learn.
Yeah,
you grow. But definitely get out your head. Last question before I do the quick hitters. Can you talk about your brand, Locked In? Have it on. Have it on the hat.
Man,
he has a hoodie on.
Brand. Man, it's a brand that me and my friend started. I want to say like 2017, 2018, when I got out of high school. It really locked in just means, like, if we built a bond, if we built a relationship, we're forever locked in. Like, even people that buy our merchandise, we tell them we're forever locked in. Like, because now when you buy some of our merch, you'll always, anytime you see that shirt, you might be like, "Oh, I need to get a new one. This one don't fit me no more." Or I need to get, et cetera, et cetera. So locked in just means, just, like a friendship, a bond, and we really wanted to make our brand how we wanted to make it. We didn't want to really follow trends. We didn't really want to, be too much of people pleasers. We wanted to, make our own trends. So, that's another reason why we started it, because, we see a lot of people walking around wearing, different designers like Gucci, Yeezy, Nike, all that. So we're like, man, why don't we jump on the ship too? Like, might as well make our own brand, because you never know where it can go.
You never know where it can go. Never. Do you have any future aspirations doing anything else besides basketball or anything in the future?
Honestly, I have actually two. I wanna either, actually, it's really three. Because like I told you, I draw, I do cartoons and stuff. So,
Yeah,
one day I want to own my own cartoon. Make a little kid show, and then
nice.
piggybacking off of that, I want to make kids toys.
Yeah,
Because or kids or baby toys, because kids and babies are forever going to be around. So
yeah, they
you'll
are.
always be able to make money off of that, and
Yeah,
then open up a clothing store. Like places like here that don't have American culture or American swag. Bringing like stuff that we have from there to here, and introducing it to them.
yeah,
Yeah, I think it could like really change their culture and how they look at things, and clothes, or what they wear. Because the younger crowd, like yesterday, we seen that girl with the varsity jacket.
yeah,
Like the younger crowd, they're more in tune. But
yeah,
I bet you she's never seen like stack sweats, or like
yeah.
cargo shorts, cargo
Yep,
pants,
yep. Baggy
stuff,
cars. Yeah,
exactly, like stuff
yeah,
like that. Like bringing that out here, and I feel like that'd be really big. So just trying to figure out a way to do that.
yeah. Oh, that's dope, man. Those are all good ideas and good goals to do in the future. Start the quick hitters. Best player you played with or against
Ooh, best player I played with.
or against.
You know what? It was this. I can't remember his name, but it was this guy. He goes to St. Mary's now.
Okay.
He when I played JUCO with him, not
Hmm.
against him. Against him, I played JUCO against him. He was the number one scorer in the league. He was a freshman, and I think he was like, we're same age, but he was like a couple months younger than me.
Yeah.
When I tell you that dude was killing, he's 6'4", had a jump shot, had post moves, footwork was crazy,
Yeah.
and everybody underestimated him because he was a white boy. But hey,
Yeah.
dude had handles. He was quick. He was really dominant. He dominated the whole league. If I'm not mistaken, I think he got like second place for MVP because they lost in playoffs. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen it. Last Chance You,
Yeah. I've seen
San
that.
Francisco City.
Yeah.
One of their players won MVP.
Yeah.
He was killing that year too, but sheesh, that dude from Santa Rosa, he was killing, man. He was killing.
Man. It's crazy. I thought you were gonna say Lamelo Ball, man.
Man, you know what? I can give it to Lamelo too. He got to be up there too. But it's just like I told you. The
Yeah.
first game I played against him, I've only played against him once,
Yeah.
and he was very nonchalant.
Yeah.
So like he just
Yeah.
kind of played like he didn't care. It was like,
Yeah.
but if we have to say biggest name, yeah, it's for sure Lamelo.
Yeah.
It's
The
for
best
sure
player to
Lamelo.
do from St. Mary's now. If you had a chance to ask God a question and get the answer immediately, what would it be? Tough one.
Mm, I'd say, man, that is a tough one. You know what? I'd have to say, how do we know who goes to heaven? Because like you'll have family members that pass away, and of course you want to keep in good mind, good spirit that that
That they're in heaven, that they
that
did
they're
the
in
right
heaven. Exactly. Like my granny, she was very big on Christ. Like
thing.
she embedded it into us, and of course I know she went to heaven, but you always have that mind, like how do we know? Because there's even soldiers. In the Bible it tells us we shouldn't kill, we shouldn't hurt each other and stuff.
Hmm.
But how do we know? Like we tell them rest in peace and all this and that. How do we know that the
They're
soldiers
actually
went
in
to
heaven.
heaven? So
Yeah, I think definitely that is a good one. But I believe like when you gave your life to Christ and you believe in Him, you show love and do things of His fruit on a day in and day out basis, um, and you see that in people. You see the fruits of the Spirit of God in people and different people like your Grammy and
yeah,
things like that. I think you kind of just have that feeling like but I guess you wouldn't really know until you actually go to heaven
yeah,
yourself and
yeah,
you actually see them.
yeah,
But I think maybe like that's a kind of a good decisive like measure, like
yeah,
just seeing their fruits, like, oh, this is a good Christian person, and they're a believer and things like that.
yeah.
So that's what I'll say. That's a good one though. Yeah, that's a good question though. If you could have dinner with 3 people dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Hmm. You know what? I'd have to say, man, this is a tough one. I have to say one. It would have to be Martin Luther King.
Go first.
I say I'd have to say Nipsey Hussle. I said that's another one. Nipsey Hussle, you know, California.
California,
I
yes,
gotta
sir.
see how that, you know, that hustle came out.
Yeah.
And another one I'd have to say, man, I'm very tempted to, you know, say somebody that's doing very well for themselves and, you know, wealthy and stuff. So, you know, I'd have to say like someone like, you know what? I'd have to say Muhammad Ali. I'd have to say Muhammad Ali because, you know, he was boxing during, you know, when it was very racist.
Very
you know,
racist.
And he's still considered, you know, one of the greatest of all times in everyone's eyes. So, you know, like I'd have to, you know, ask him that type of question, like, man, how was it coming up in that? You know, how did you stay locked in? How did you, you know, perform? How did you perform knowing that, you know, you feel like I guess
there's so much going on behind, like not even behind closed doors, at you, racist things. Still performing at a top level. That's a great 3. Favorite Bible verse.
Favorite Bible verse. You know what? I can't remember it off the top of my head. I wish I had my iPod in here. Favorite Bible verse. But it says, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give you as the world gives. Do not let your heart be troubled, and don't be afraid." So like that's just one that's like, it kind of always stuck with me because I had a family member pass away, and that was one that they had tattooed on them. And like every time I see it, it just reminds me of them. So it's like it kind of just sticks with me, you know. And it's very true. It's very true.
Yeah, that's a good one. Favorite athlete?
Oh, and that was John 14:27.
Oh, John 14:27. Sounds like a good book. Favorite athlete?
Man, I'm very tempted to say LeBron James.
That's a great.
I'm very tempted to say LeBron James, but honestly, I could say my favorite athlete right now, honestly, is Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson. He's a freak of nature. Freak of nature.
Last question. Courtside at any sporting event in history, what event would it be? Why?
In history, you know what? Just because I worked at the Warriors Stadium, I gotta say when LeBron came back from that 3-1
lead,
I gotta say, bro, because I'm at the top of the row. You know, given that I was a usher, I'm you know, seating everybody, telling everybody where to sit. So I'm only seeing it from the big screen. But when I tell you that crowd was very upset out in Oakland, they were very upset.
That's crazy.
It was crazy. So yeah, that 3-1, I'd have to go with 3-1.
But all right, Eli, man, thanks for being on the show, man. Appreciate you big time,
yes, sir. Hey, everybody, stay locked in.
Yep, you know? Stay locked in. Get your merch. Where can they get the merch at?
You know what? Follow us on Instagram. It's Locked In 4L Apparel. Maybe I can, you know, give you the link.
Yeah,
you know.
it'll be in the bio.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you guys for watching. We're out.